Guys, today in this technique video we're going to be covering the Renegade Row. The Renegade Row is a movement that engages the core, hips, focuses on a little bit of shoulder because you're holding tension or isolation through that, and then engaging the lats because you are performing a row. It's a very beneficial movement to create a lot of assistance work without overloading the body too much, and it's also good for building the back and building strength in the upper body. So, now, setting up for the Renegade Row, you want to think about it like it's a push-up. When we're using two dumbbells, we can also do this with kettlebells or any other sort of weight that we can hold as handles, but we want to set the dumbbells or the kettlebells up in a fairly close stance position. So if you see Colby, they should be right in between his shoulders, maybe a little bit closer depending on your position. We're setting this up like a tripod, so our first point of contact should be in the front portion of our body. From there, to make it easier, we widen that base or widen that stance. That's creating that triangular effect that we're looking for, so that way we can stabilize off of our hand as we're about to create our pull. Now, setting up, we're also going to keep the core nice and tight, the hips are turned on. So what I focus on a lot is squeezing my butt. Now, by squeezing our butt and engaging our core, we have locked down our center of balance. This is going to allow us to help stabilize our movement so we're not creating a rotational effect with our pull. Now, the Renegade Row is basically a single arm row while you stabilize. So he's going to show it real quick just so you guys can see. He's going to stabilize through his hips, and he's going to engage his lat as he pulls that dumbbell up. He sets the dumbbell back and down into start position and then re-engages into the other arm as such. Now, one focal point that I like to think about is right when I'm about to pull, creating that force with my lat, I'm thinking about squeezing my butt down. What that's going to do is help alleviate any rotation in the hips. What a Renegade Row should look and feel like is, as Colby is going to show real quick. The shoulders should stay about the same height, the hips should stay nice and flat, parallel to the floor. He's then going to create the force through his lat, engaging the pull and pulling to his chest. Now, a bad one, if he does it on the same arm, he's going to open his body up, he's going to create a rotation, his hips are not going to be flat to the floor anymore, he's also not going to be flat with his shoulders. Now, if you're feeling like this movement is too easy for you, you can make this harder in two ways. Either increasing the weight that you're using for your row, or decreasing the width that your feet are. So if he makes his feet a little bit closer, he's now not in that tripod position. He now has to stabilize through his core even more and engage his glutes harder to focus on not opening and not rotating. So if we can see him do that real quick, he really has to focus. You guys even see that he does have to shift because he's trying to create balance, okay? Now that you guys have seen the correct way to perform a Renegade Row, focus on optimizing your core stability. So you want to think about this movement as three movements. It's a plank, it's a row, and it's an isolation hold. Okay, so by doing all three correctly, you're going to benefit in multiple ways. You're going to create upper body strength, you're going to create midline and core stability, so you're going to be stronger overall. You're also going to build that upper back. All right, so now that you guys know how to do the Renegade Row, let's see you do them correctly and start implementing this right away.